From rising crime to illegal border crossings, it seems that some Democrats are attempting to walk back their soft on crime policies. Well, with the midterms looming, the Dems are looking to not only defend their abysmal records, but launching election ads to boost their new sudden crackdown on crime. Let's bring in former NYPD Commissioner Bernie Kerik and also Arizona Secretary of State Mark Finchem. It's great to have you both here. Wonderful. You know, Bernie, what do you think of some Democrats now kind of looks like they're trying to rewrite history on their political positions and maybe seem like they were cracking down on crime the whole time? I think about one of the cases we were just talking with Rudy Giuliani, who I know you know well, about Kathy Hochul. Suddenly she starts talking about, you know, crime on the subway, and she did that, what, just about 2 weeks ago. It's been crime on the subway for quite some time, as you know, Bernie.
Yeah, first, Rita, I want to give my regards to Mark Finchem, who I believe is going to be the next Secretary of State. He's a good friend, a good man. He's going to do well for Arizona. And as far as Kathy Hochul goes, I think she forgets what she's done in the past and what she hasn't done. You know, when she was in that debate with Zeldin and she brought up the bail reform law, I literally burst out laughing. The bail reform law has been responsible for tons of these thugs being released back into the streets. 83% of the people arrested on gun charges are immediately released as a result of Kathy Hochul's bail reform law. So why she hasn't repealed it, if she was really going to be an anti-crime governor, she would have repealed that law already, got it off the books, and gave the cops the authority to go out and do the job that they're sworn to do.
Yeah, and also rein in Alvin Bragg. She keeps saying, oh, I'm going to give him some slack, and doesn't seem to want to even do anything.
She should have fired him already.
A lot of people are saying that.
She should have taken this guy out.
And that's what Lee Zeldin said he would do day one, and she just kind of skirted around it in the debate. Let's move on a little bit to the border, too, because, Mark, you know that firsthand. I mean, you're running for Secretary of State there in Arizona, right there, of course, a big border state. The first time in U.S. history, this is amazing, over 2 million illegal migrants crossed at our southern border in this fiscal year alone. This number is supported by Customs and Border Protection stats. This is an unprecedented number, and it doesn't even include, by the way, the known and the unknown gotaways. And in fact, some people are saying that so far under President Biden's tenure, in the 2 years, they estimate it's been about 5.5 million with all these numbers combined. What does this mean, Mark? These numbers, and especially for our national security, it's really stunning.
Well, we expect that number actually to be at least 2, if not 2.5 times higher than the number reported because of the gotaways. What they're not talking about is the flood of fentanyl coming into this, and car fentanyl coming into this country. That is now the leading cause of death in adults 18 to, I think, 35. Fentanyl poisoning. We're not going to call it an overdose. It's just an outright poisoning. So what it's done, the takedown of and the policy that the Biden administration, by the way, they have to own this. They own every death on the American streets for drug overdoses, for gang violence. This is on their watch. Has allowed every state to become a border state. These folks are not coming to Arizona. Although the flood of individuals coming into our state is overwhelming our ability to respond to people who are the illegal entrance into our country.
Yeah, absolutely. It is stunning. Let me go to Bernie, you know, because the fentanyl crisis, in fact, just this week in Oregon, they seized fentanyl that, get this is always so amazing, to kill 4 million people potentially, just because even a small little dose is so lethal. How can we get this under control? And as Mark was just talking about, this open border has really made every state a border state, and fentanyl deaths are rising in every state across the country, essentially.
Well, listen, Rita, as Mark was saying, the one thing that's going to happen is you're going to have to close down that border. You can't allow the cartels to human traffic and bring in the drugs. We know it's coming in. We know how it's coming in. And basically the border agents, the people responsible for taking these people out at the borders, they're being told to stand down. I personally think Mayorkas, the head of DHS of ICE, this guy has, he's got to go. He's got to go. I think I think he should be prosecuted for not doing the job that he's supposed to be doing. He's outright standing his people down and not letting them do the job they're supposed to do.
Well, and a lot of people are saying that if the GOP takes over the House, they will definitely call him and look into that. And there are a lot of concerns about that. I've been down to the border. It is really, really troubling to see what has been going on down there and just how difficult it is. Bernie and Mark, thank you very much. And Mark, also good luck on election night. It's really great to have you here. And Bernie, always wonderful to have you here. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No crooked establishment.
None of that twisting the
truth.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax.
Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think.
They let
me decide.
Newsmax.
real news
For real people.